Hey guys, Brad from SimpleGuitar.com here. Today we're gonna go over the top 12 beginner guitar riffs that I think that you should be playing. If you're not already playing these, if you've been playing guitar for a little bit, there's a good chance you already know these. If not, I want you to start playing these. Why? Because it's important that you play actual music. So many guitar players get caught up in playing exercises and scales and never get around to actually playing music. So the point of playing riffs like this is to have fun, to learn new things, to try new things, to inspire you and help move you down the path and motivate you towards learning more stuff on the guitar. Now, I do recommend that you spend more time learning full songs than just riffs, but let's be honest, guys, we all spend time learning just riffs, and that's a great place to start for a lot of things. But do make sure that if you are going through this and you're like, hey, I really like that one, go learn the full song, okay? It's great for you. Plus, it makes you look better at parties when you can play a full song rather than just the riff. So let's dive right in. Number one, the first riff that I start new students out with all the time is Iron Man. And now I recommend that you start playing this song with just one finger, and I'll explain why in a second. But if you check out the tab right here, it says this. We're gonna start with your first finger on 2 on your 5th string, and this whole riff is gonna stay on your 5th string. We're just moving up and down the 5th string. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dive in and play 2 with your first finger, and then 5, 5 again, and then 7 twice. Then we're gonna slide up to 10, and we're gonna go 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9, then down to 5, and we're gonna play that twice, and then 7 twice. Now that's walking through it pretty slow, but if you need to pause for a second and figure that out, that's great. But all of it together is gonna sound like this. Now up to full speed, it's gonna be more like this. And you may get to the point where with 10 and 9, you're either just using 2 fingers to hammer on and pull off, or you're sliding back and forth, so you're going, or, and that's fine too. Okay, but here's why I want you to start out with 1 finger on this song. Because during the singing part of the song, when Ozzy is actually singing, Tony Iommi is just playing 1 string. So that's what you hear. Anytime they're singing, it's 1 string. But when there's not singing, Tony doubles up and plays power chords. So what that means is your first finger, the notes that you've been playing with your first finger are now the root note to every power chord that you play. So that means you just add your 3rd finger on the next string 2 frets higher on every single one of those. And that is how it's played the rest of the time. So start out with 1 finger for Iron Man, and then move on to doing it with power chords. That's level 1 and level 2 for playing Iron Man, but still one of the greatest riffs of all time. So if you have questions on Iron Man, do let me know down in the comments, but otherwise, let's move on to number 2. Alright, so number 2 is 7 Nation Army by the White Stripes. This has become like the new smoke on the water for people of the last 20 years who've been playing, right? And this riff, I again recommend that you play this with 1 finger. Now, there are different ways to play it. I've taught people in the past to use your first finger and your 4th finger. I've even thought of ways to break it down and do it on strings so you can do it in 1 position. In fact, that's what I'd probably do on bass. But here's the cool thing about this. We're going to start with 1 finger because we're going to build up, right? We're going to build up from playing just 1 note at a time to playing power chords and then to playing the full bar chords that get played in the chorus. So again, all on the 5th string, just like Iron Man. So we're sliding around just with your first finger. That's really going to help the callus on this finger. So if you need help building calluses with other fingers, feel free to swap out and use a different finger. But for 7 Nation Army, we're going to start on your 7th fret on the 5th string. You're going to hit that twice, and then go up to 10, and then back to 7. Then walk down to 5, and then 3, and then 2. And that's the riff. That just repeats. So we're going to have 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2, 7, 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. Okay? It's more about the timing than anything. So starting slow and just getting the timing down, that's the most important thing. Okay, now you can play this with your pinky playing 10 instead of sliding up with your first finger. That's okay. That's all right. If you want to do that, that's fine. Or you could play it this way, where you start with your 3rd finger on 7, and instead of playing 10, you play 5 on your 4th string with your first finger. So you go 7, 7, 5 on your 4th, and then back to 7, and then 5 with your 1st on your 5th string, and then 3 and 2. Or you could, if you really want to be fancy. So on my 6th string, I used my pinky to play 8 and my 3rd finger to play 7 instead of playing 3 and 2 on my 5th string. Now, like I said, if you're starting out with this and this is new to you, use your first finger, because we're going to do the same thing that we did with Iron Man. We're going to build up and go from just playing one note at a time to playing power chords with it. So that means your first finger, all the notes that you're playing, 7, 10, 5, 3, 2, those are now your root note positions for your power chord. So your power chord is going to be 7 and 9, and then slide up to 10 and 12, back to 7 and 9, 5 and 7, 3 and 5, and then 2 and 4. And that's what it does in the chorus. It goes 3, 5, 3, 2. But the whole verse is exactly what we covered. So have some fun with 7 Nation Army. If you have questions on it, let me know down in the comments. But let's go on to number 3. Number 3 comes from the Rolling Stones, and it's I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Okay, now there's a couple of different ways that you can play this. The way that I've had students play this for years is on the 6th string on your 7th, 9th, and 10th frets, which again, you can use one finger, or I sometimes like to use my 2nd finger to play 10. So I slide my first finger from 7 up to 9, and then my 2nd finger will play 10 like this. I just like that slide from 7 to 9. But you can all do it with one finger. And so it's a 3-note riff. The key to this one is the rhythm, making sure that you have that first note short, long, short, long. That gives you the feel, the articulation, and the rhythm that they're playing is what gives it the feel, okay? Now, the other place that you could play this, and I believe this might be where Keith played it, is on your 5th string as 2, 4, and 5. Same idea. You're just doing 3 frets. It's 2, 4, and 5 on your 5th string, or it's 7, 9, and 10 on your 6th string. Again, great song, great riff. Have fun with it. Let me know if you have any questions about Satisfaction down in the comments. number 4 today is the classic, the most famous guitar riff of all time, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Now for this one, you can do it with one finger or you can use 2 or 3 fingers, okay? But the point is we're playing double stops for this riff. That means we're playing 2 strings at a time with different notes. And so what I recommend that you do is you're playing your 3rd and 4th string for the whole thing, and you have to pick just those 2 strings. So you got to make sure that your picking motion is small enough that you just hit your 4th string and your 3rd string together. But then with the fretted notes, we're playing your 3rd fret on both of those strings. You're going to take your 1st finger and you're going to lay it flat. So instead of using your fingertip, the top part of your finger here, you're going to use the flat part of your finger right here, this first section under your nail, okay? So you're going to lay your finger flat on that, and then you can slide that up to 5 and 6. And that's the whole thing. Again, the key to this is the sound of the rhythm. Make sure that you're playing them short, that there's silence in between where they need it. It's a very staccato, very short, disconnected sound. Now, if you want to be really fancy, what you can do is use your 1st finger and your 3rd finger, where you use your 3rd finger to play 5 and 6, and that's cool too. That's usually what I do. One other level that you can do for this is instead of playing your 3rd and 4th strings open, you could use your 3rd finger to play a double stop on your 5th string and your 4th string on the 5th fret. And that would be your 1st note. So you'd be 5 on those 2 strings, and then you'd switch to your 3rd fret on your 3rd and 4th string. Whatever one you are more comfortable with is the one that you should do. So that's Smoke on the Water. Now let's go on to the next one. Riff number 5 is Down on the Corner by Creedence Clearwater Revival, or as we all lovingly refer to them as, CCR, because Creedence Clearwater Revival is a mouthful, right? As much as I love those guys. All right, so this one, again, you can play with 1 or 2 fingers. I don't care which one you do. I'm going to show you the 1-finger version. This is all based on your 3rd and 2nd frets, and it's pretty straightforward. We're going to be moving strings a little bit more, though, because we're going to start on your 5th string with your 3rd fret, and then play open, and then your 3rd fret on the 6th string. And then roll your finger back and lay it flat down on that 5th string again. So you're going to have, and then open again, 3rd on your 6th string, and then you're going to play your 2nd fret on your 5th string and slide up. Now that's kind of the basis of the riff. So you're playing this, and you play that twice. Then we're going to take the exact same riff and just change strings. So we're going to start this on your 4th string and then go down to your 5th. And then at the end, we're going to play 2 on your 4th string and then your open 3rd string twice. Now I'm stopping that string right there in between with my 1st finger, just lightly touching it, and then we go back to the beginning. So that's Down on the Corner by CCR. Have fun with that. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Now let's go on to number 6. Number 6 is Roadhouse Blues by The Doors. This is a really simple, easy one. The biggest thing with this is swinging it, and then you're going to use your 1st and 2nd finger to practice hammer-ons for some good legato practice, okay? So what we're doing is you've got your open low string, and you got this cool blue shovel. You're going to play that for 3 beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and then we're going to play your 5th string open, but then your first finger hammers onto your first fret, and then your second finger hammers on to the second fret. Okay, now if you need practice with your hammer-ons, this is a great little thing to practice for these two fingers. And you can do it on all your strings. Because we are going to do it on your 5th string and your 4th string, but if you want to turn this into a hammer-on exercise, you can just take each string and then reverse it for pull-offs. But that's the essence of what we're doing. We're gonna do our hammer-ons twice on the 6th string. So it'll go like this. And then the next time it's on your 4th string. And then the last we go back to the 5th. That is Roadhouse Blues, mostly open strings. Have fun with that one, with the legato, with those hammer-ons, and let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. Okay, so this next one is Come As You Are by Nirvana. Now, if you're gonna play along with the record, you're gonna have to tune your guitar down. For the sake of time today, I am not going to tune my guitar down. I'm doing this in standard tuning, so you can play along with me if you're in standard tuning. But if you are gonna play this with the record, you gotta tune your guitar down a whole step. So rather than being E, A, D, G, B, E, you're gonna be D, G, C, F, A, D. But either way, you can play this in standard tuning and it's gonna sound great. It's all open strings and your 1st and 2nd finger playing your 1st and 2nd fret, and you're gonna go something like this. So we're alternating, changing strings quite a bit. We start with open, open, 1, and then 2 on your 6th string while we let that ring out and you hit your open 5th string. Then we walk back down to open on the 6th string and we play the 2nd fret on your 5th string. And then it just kind of goes through that cycle. It goes up and down your 6th string and back up on your 5th string and back down. So you get this cool riff. Great sounding riff, super easy because you're only using 2 fingers and it's on 2 strings. Number 8, as we go through these 12 beginner guitar riffs, is actually a bass riff, which I didn't even mention. This 7 Nation Army sounds like it's a bass, but it's actually a guitar with an effect pedal, so it's tuned down an octave. It's kind of crazy. So it's really guitar. But this one is the actual bass riff. And again, if you want to play this with the record is tuned down 1/2 step. So it means you have to tune your guitar down every string 1/2 step lower. So you'll be on E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat, or D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. But again, this is all your 2nd and 3rd fret, which you can use your 2nd and 3rd finger for, or you can use your 1st and 2nd finger for. I don't care which one you use, but it's going to sound like this. So we're just walking up your 2nd and 3rd fret on the 6th string. And then we do 3 on your 5th string, and then 2. And then on your 5th string, it's open, open, 3, 2, and then it's 3 and open on your 6th string. So when we put it all together, we get this cool bass line. that's Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Have fun with that. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Now this next one is Peter Gunn, which is a cool riff. I first learned about this hearing it in like the Blues Brothers, right? It's an old song, but it's a great finger exercise for all 4 fingers. What it is essentially we're playing open 6th string and then fretting a fret and alternating between those. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna play your open 6th string twice, and then your 2nd fret with your 1st finger, and then open again, then your 3rd fret with your 2nd finger, and then open again, and then use your pinky to play your 5th fret, and then your 3rd finger to play your 4th fret. So when you play that slowly, this gives you a good workout for getting used to all 4 fingers, and it's actually music, right? It's not just playing. What we want to do is we want to play real music. So this is how for years I've tricked kids into working all 4 fingers, right? So we do this. Now, if you really want to do that with 1 finger, you can, but I recommend as soon as possible, like right away after your first time trying it, you'll get used to playing it with all 4 fingers. It's going to serve you better if you can do that. Okay, number 10 is Day Tripper by the Beatles. This one, the rhythm is a little bit more complicated, so you might have to just listen to the rhythm and do your best to imitate it, but it's pretty straightforward. We're playing your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th frets for this. So what I like to do is have my 1st finger play the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, and my 3rd finger on the 4th fret, and if I do that, this riff goes like this. So when you put that all together, we're going to play open, and then your 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then we are going to switch to the 5th string and play 2, and then roll that finger back so it plays 2 on the 4th string, and then play that string open. Now we're going to play your 2nd fret on your 5th string, and then use your 3rd finger to play 4 on the 4th string, then back to 2 on your 5th string, then back to 2 on your 5th string, and then we're gonna play your 4th string open, and then the 2nd fret on your 4th string, which I usually just hammer on. And I also hammer on the 4th fret in the on your 6th string in the very beginning, where it's this. Cool riff. I mean, I grew up listening to this forever, but I remember listening to when the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over concert came out when I was a little kid. I remember watching that, and I remember them throwing this riff in at the end of one of their songs. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but this is a great riff. So slow it down, practice it, try using all 3 of those fingers, and have fun with Day Tripper. Okay, now these last 2 are a little bit harder, but I think that you can do it. I think that you can put in a little bit of effort, and even though these might be a little bit more difficult than the last 10 that we've done, this is going to be really cool for you to know, and it's going to help you out. Now, the number 11 is... So this is Sunshine of Your Love by Cream, and that's Eric Clapton playing it, and also he does the singing on this one too. But this one is pretty straightforward. I remember the first time hearing this, my mind just like kind of being blown. I think my brother was playing it, and I was like, I have to learn that, right? So it's pretty straightforward. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide with your 3rd finger up to 12 on your 4th string. And you play that twice. Then your first finger on 10, and then back up to 12 with your third finger. Then on your fifth string, we're going to walk down on 12, 11, and 10 using your third finger, second finger, and first finger. Now, this last part, what we're going to do is we're going to put your third finger on 10 of your sixth string. Now, I like to slide into this because it makes it sound cool. And then your first finger plays 8 on your fifth string. And if you add some vibrato there, that's going to sound sweet. And then we go back to 10 on your sixth string. Now, there's different ways that you can play this next part. A lot of people will play like a partial bar chord. But to keep it simple for you today, what we're going to do is we're going to use your third and second fingers. So I want your third finger on 12, and then I want you to put your second finger on 11 on your third string. So your third finger's on your fourth string, 12th fret. Second finger is on your 11th fret of your third string, and you're going to go slide down to 10 and 9. Okay, so you're going to go like this. And then you're going to do the same walk down on your fifth string with 12, 11, 10. But now we're going to slide up to 12 on your fourth string, and then hit 10 on your third string, and then back to 12 on your fourth. Now, when you put that all together, that gives you the whole riff. All right, and our final riff in the top 12 beginner guitar riffs is actually in another tuning as well, but you gotta tune down to it. And this is a tuning that you should not be afraid of. Some people are afraid of alternate tunings or drop tunings, and I don't see why, because you gotta learn how to do them eventually. And my favorite thing to do with beginners is to actually start them out in a drop tuning. So my favorite tuning is drop D for beginners, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take your low E string, and your low E string, we're gonna tune it down a whole step down to a D note. If you have a tuner to do this, this will make your life easier. But I'm gonna show you how to do it anyway. You want to press down on the 7th fret of your 6th string, and then play your 5th string open. Now, when you're in standard tuning, there's gonna be a lot of dissonance there. But what you want to do is play that, and then reaching over with your right hand or your picking hand, you're going to tune your 6th string down until you hear those notes line up like this. And so now my 7th fret on my E string and my A string that's open are the same note, and that puts my 6th string one whole step lower. So now when I play that open, I'm playing a D instead of playing an E, okay? And so for this last riff, let's see if you recognize this one. I love this riff. This is so cool. All right, so for Shine by Collective Soul, this is not the whole thing. We could do a video on the whole thing if you want to, but this riff is one of the coolest guitar riffs of all time, and it's the kind of thing that whenever you're with a group of people and you play that, someone's gonna go, yeah, in the background, and you're gonna feel cool, right? Because everybody knows that part. Even people who don't really know the song. I've had kids, students who've never heard it do that. Just because it's iconic. It's part of our culture now, okay? But what we're doing is we're playing open drop D power chords, which is your open 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. And then we're just gonna play your 3rd fret, your 5th fret, and we are gonna play your 6th fret as well. Now, I like to do these by laying my 2nd finger flat using this part of my 2nd finger, okay? the flattest part so I can lay that flat across those strings. But you could also use your first, you could use your third, you could use your second. Don't use your pinky unless you're a psychopath, okay? This is gonna start out with a down, down, up on open, and then I'm gonna play groups of 3 notes mainly, where I'm gonna play my 3rd fret and then 2 open. And then do that again, and again. And then I'm gonna play 3 open, and then my 5th fret. So all together, I'm gonna get this. Then I'm gonna do it again. But I'm gonna add the 6th fret and go 5, 6, and that's the whole riff. It just repeats. So guys, those are my top 12 beginner guitar riffs that I think that you should learn. They are a ton of fun. They will give you some cool stuff to show off to all your friends and family whenever you're playing, but these also help you learn some important playing techniques and principles about playing that are going to help move your playing forward as you go. So have fun with all these. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you want to get a tab of all 12 of these, go to simpleguitar.com/beginner riffs, and there you can download a tab that has all 12 of these tabbed out for you so that you can practice them. So thanks for watching today. Have fun with these guitar riffs, and I will see you in this next video.